A 2,700-year-old text with unnerving accuracy outlines the world's current state of affairs even as these words are heard. This remarkable correspondence isn't a product of forced readings or mere happenstance. The subject is an individual who walked Jerusalem. He foresaw concepts beyond the grasp of his contemporaries, committing them to writing with such vividness. When encountered in 2026, his words feel less like an antique manuscript and more like an eternal admonition. During Isaiah's time, concepts such as the United States, Russia, or artificial intelligence were completely absent. The known world only stretched a few weeks' camel journey across desert tracks and trade pathways. Nonetheless, his writings detailed power shifts and global ramifications that are difficult to dismiss. Modern news reports seem to echo his declarations, resembling venerable whispers confronting our crossroads. His predictions lacked ambiguity. He portrayed forces, influential personalities, and burgeoning global powers. It's as if an individual from antiquity outlined our present epoch and preserved it on a scroll. Prophet Isaiah discussed surprising leaders emerging to contest existing frameworks, formidable northern powers sweeping the global arena, nations decaying internally despite their apparent strength, human-created intelligence starting to surpass human comprehension, and even the planet itself reaching its threshold to endure the ramifications of human activities. 6 prophecies, 6 warnings. In 2026, for the very first time, all these forecasts seem to be unfolding concurrently. The first prophecy concerns an enigma that has puzzled historians for centuries. A leader who appears as a complete outlier. This person would operate outside traditional power constructs and not originate from expected institutions or lineages. Isaiah speaks of bronze portals being shattered and iron shackles being destroyed. Defenses collapse under this figure. This individual was Cyrus, the Persian emperor who allowed the Jewish people to return and rebuild their sanctuary. Cyrus did not follow Israel's religious traditions, yet he was the sovereign responsible for a pivotal restoration. Examining the 21st century political landscape, observers detect recurring instances of this exact phenomenon. Election results that defied all predictions, unlikely candidates unexpectedly winning positions, disrupting the order. A striking example was Donald Trump's return to the White House on January 20th, 2025, after years of battles. During his tenure, policy decisions altered established positions. The U.S. officially recognized Jerusalem as Israel's capital. This was followed by the recognition of Israeli sovereignty over the Golan Heights and the Abraham Accords. Regardless of perspective, they exemplified the revolutionary actions Isaiah imagined, breaking iron obstacles. However, power, once released, does not always remain controlled. Tools used to reshape history produce far-reaching effects. A forcibly open portal might offer possibilities, but it can equally usher in chaos. What occurs once obstacles are overcome? I invite you to reflect. Is this unrest intended for renewal or a shift beyond control? Share your opinions in the comments. Moving on to the second prophecy renders the account even more troubling. Isaiah begins by describing the rod of the north. Isaiah describes the rod of the north, a potent force acting as an instrument of unrest for nations that have grown complacent. In Isaiah's period, this northern strength was the Assyrian Empire, ancient history's most formidable military power. Their military might was infamous for inspiring terror, practicing psychological warfare centuries before the modern phrase. They practiced brutal tactics, exiling entire populations to prevent any re-emergence of their power. They broke a civilization's will. However, Isaiah stresses that this power begins to view its strength as absolute, forgetting its part in a larger story. Present-day Iran functions as a key player within this sphere, cementing its position as a major regional power. Developing broad networks of influence through political agreements, proxy groups, and strategic partnerships. In recent times, tensions involving Iran have sharply intensified. Direct military confrontations have placed the nation at a crisis. Financial sanctions and regional rivalries have turned the area into a combustible geopolitical stage. Air raids and retaliatory strikes have propelled the region into a new phase of instability, drawing global attention. Alliances change, opponents multiply. Internal pressures appear alongside external threats. Isaiah's prediction culminates in a significant transformation. Unchecked power eventually proves self-destructive. In an area where disagreements escalate, how long can any single power act as the rod before the forces it unleashed strike back? Isaiah's vision goes beyond the rise and fall of powerful countries. He warned of something even more troubling than armies: the quiet decay of societies from within. In Isaiah's 3rd chapter, he depicts a nation progressively losing its foundations. Isaiah depicts a period when effective leadership disappears and previously stable systems begin to erode. When understanding yields to confusion, and those appointed to govern begin to mislead the people they were meant to guide. Societies rarely collapse suddenly. More often, the process unfolds gradually. Institutions weaken, and public trust erodes. Looking at the world today, several of these early warning signs are appearing simultaneously across different countries. Historians often speak of the escalation dilemma. Two formidable entities, neither wishing for war, nonetheless approach conflict. Every action undertaken by one side seems protective and justified. Each retaliatory step by the opposing side appears equally crucial. It resembles two trains on the same track heading toward each other, each expecting the other to swerve first. This occurred before the First World War. Interconnected powers, royal families, yet a chain of misjudgments led to disaster. A single assassination in Sarajevo ignited a conflict that ultimately caused over 40 million deaths. Isaiah describes a similar scenario in chapter 24. He speaks of the world being laid waste, shaken, and overthrown. This is not due to a single event, but the combined impact of broken agreements, corrupt laws, and fractured understandings. The very structures meant to maintain stability concurrently start to crumble. The international system becomes vulnerable. Organizations like the UN and military alliances were all put in place to ensure disagreements could be settled before they intensified. By the mid-2020s, many of these systems are showing signs of decline. The conflict in Ukraine has brought the world nearer to engagement. Cyber attacks have surfaced as an invisible battleground where nations routinely probe each other's vulnerabilities. The Pacific region has become another potential area of contention. China asserts reunification, while the US reaffirms protection. Taiwan produces the majority of the world's sophisticated computer chips, the processors that energize everything from phones to satellites. A confrontation there would virtually incapacitate the technological infrastructure of the entire planet overnight. Additionally, there is the Arctic. As global warming prompts ice to melt, new shipping lanes are emerging across northern waters. Beneath the icy stretch lie vast deposits of oil, natural gas, and essential rare minerals for contemporary technology. Nations bordering the Arctic are now positioning themselves to claim authority over these nascent resources. Isaiah describes a person coming from the north, from a distant and cold land, initiating changes that disrupt global stability. Moreover, Greenland has surprisingly become a topic of strategic importance for international leaders. Greenland lies along vital missile pathways linking Russia and North America, offering access to Arctic shipping routes. Beneath its surface are rare earth minerals, crucial for advanced electronics and renewable energy breakthroughs. Plentiful fresh water constitutes another resource. In a future of water scarcity, it could be the most important place on Earth. Isaiah also depicts people hiding themselves in caves and underground refuges during times of profound chaos. Governments maintain extensive subterranean facilities designed to stay operational during catastrophic occurrences. Wealthy individuals have invested in private, self-sustaining sanctuaries, sensing that stability cannot be taken for granted. Trust between nations declines. Once trust disappears, rebuilding it proves difficult. But even this is not the most astounding forecast. This vision involves no military forces. Instead, it concerns something humanity would create on its own, an entity powerful enough to challenge human intelligence. Isaiah depicts an era when the wisdom of the insightful begins to diminish, and the understanding of the intelligent seems to disappear. In the 21st century, we have created systems capable of performing mental tasks more quickly and competently than humans. They can identify connections that would require humans years to uncover, designing drugs, writing software, and creating art. What makes this unsettling is that even the creators who engineer these systems often cannot fully explain how they reach conclusions. Modern AI operates through neural networks that emulate the human brain, learning patterns rather than following explicit instructions. If we entrust critical decisions to systems whose logic we cannot grasp, what then becomes of human judgment itself? Military strategists are already investigating AI in autonomous weapon systems. These could identify targets at velocities surpassing humans. Algorithms do not feel fear, empathy, or moral qualms. They optimize for objectives defined by their programming. Human decision-making gradually becomes subservient to systems design information more rapidly than we can. Are we still guiding the tools we create, or are these tools beginning to guide us? This explores themes deeper than technology. Isaiah delivers a warning about something more fundamental: truth itself. In a landscape of information warfare, it is closer than we realize. Isaiah describes an era when people would label what is evil as good and what is good as evil. Darkness portrayed as light, agreeable realities made to appear unpleasant. Modern information strikes us as disturbingly accurate. While humankind has access to an unparalleled amount of information, many paradoxically feel less certain about what represents the truth. Conflicting accounts are perpetually clashing. Every event is interpreted through a multitude of ideological lenses. Algorithms designed to maximize engagement promote emotionally charged content, allowing outrage and fear to spread rapidly, enabling entire populations to experience separate versions of reality. This is the collapse of a shared understanding. And once that occurs, trust begins to unravel. Trust between citizens, leaders, and nations. We are now living in the post-truth era, where emotionally driven narratives hold more power than verifiable facts. Political campaigns employ sophisticated psychological profiling to tailor messages using data from online behavior. Propaganda can now spread through decentralized networks that are almost impossible to regulate. AI has accelerated this transformation, generating millions of convincing articles and social media posts in minutes. Deepfake technology allows for realistic videos showing people doing things that never happened. Distinguishing between what is real and what is fictional becomes increasingly challenging. Isaiah's warning about darkness as light may represent the technological ability to manipulate perception itself. Yet the most striking aspect emerges in his final pronouncement. It focuses on the earth itself. Isaiah portrays the world as trembling, swaying like someone who is intoxicated, unsettled by overwhelming forces. To those listening in ancient times, this sounded like vivid exaggeration. Today, scientists are working to project these shifts. Global temperatures have risen substantially due to the accumulation of greenhouse gases. The Earth is experiencing changes. Glaciers, which have existed for thousands of years, are retreating at unprecedented rates. Large wildfires are now more frequent across continents. Regions once predictable are now facing extremes. Permafrost in Arctic regions is beginning to thaw, releasing methane that has been dormant for thousands of years. These processes create feedback loops where one ecological change triggers another, worsening the effects beyond predictions. Isaiah wrote that the world had been unsettled by overwhelming forces, a reeling planet struggling for balance. Yet, Isaiah's final prophecy may be the most disquieting. It foretells neither an empire nor a politician. It points to a human invention with the capacity to irreversibly shift Earth's balance of power. His revelations were warnings for generations fated to undergo significant transformations. If any generation fits that portrayal, it is ours. We stand at a crossroads where ancient whispers confront modern headlines. Are these random or a reflection of our era? Perhaps the ancient scroll was preserved for this exact moment. History is not just a record of the past, it is a lens for our future. If you encountered a sensation of recognition today, kindly support the channel. Like, subscribe, and help us grow. Share your thoughts in the comments. The most impactful insights often arise from the conversations they ignite. Consider becoming a channel member. Your contribution aids in financing the research and dedication for these revelations. Thank you for joining us on this journey through time. Watch the signals. The future is already written. Directed by Hathan. Explore the next chapter in the history of our world.